Good evening, nerds. I'm Luke, and he's Dom.
And we are the Blue Ridge Nerd Network. This week, we've got some news, a movie review, and our annual NFL picks. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. On New Year's Eve, the Pokemon Company released a 45-second trailer advertising a new animated movie. It looks to be a reboot, so to speak. Pokemon, the first movie, the 90s classic, complete with a CGI remodel. The effects look great so far from what I've seen from the trailer.
Completely different animation style. I was flattened when I saw it.
It's a nice new breath, especially with the technology we have today.
Oh, yeah.
I know we have some live action works in the future for Pokemon, but I'll settle for this for right now.
It looks good.
It has a July 12th release in Japan currently. No information yet on an American release. But I would say it'd probably be close behind it.
Close behind, I'm sure.
A lot of the Japanese movies now are coming right out about a month after the
very little delay anymore.
Yes. Next up, we have some gaming news.
Yeah.
Some gaming news. You want to go with yours first?
Sure. So mine's kind of a short blurb, and this is something I've been playing a lot lately. But Battlefield 5, they've announced that they're going to be working on. This is old news for some, apparently. Some people knew this weeks ago, but I just heard about it. They announced that they're going to be working on fixing the vaulting system. And if you've played Battlefield 5, you're very familiar with how terrible the vaulting system can be sometimes. You'll press the button, whatever key that is for you, console, PC, to jump through a window, and your character will do the animation, grab the window ledge, and then just fall right back outside.
Wow.
And most of the time, that gets you killed.
I can imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine how that gets you killed.
It's real bad if you're trying to do it over like a pile of dirt, and you just slide right back down the dirt. So they've announced they're trying to fix that because they know it's an issue. But something else that people have been crying out a lot for from Battlefield 5 is the packet loss from where the time to death seems instantaneous. So time to kill, they've had some drama with that in recent events. They upped the time to kill as a try to fix for the time to death, but it ended up just causing more problems. Took more bullets to kill people, but that ruined the enjoyment of the game for a lot of people.
I can imagine. So that's why a lot of people play hardcore in a lot of
so they don't even have a hardcore mode in Battlefield 5 because the whole game is basically hardcore.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the more realistic option to Call of Duty, right?
Yes, exactly. So the time to death is a huge issue because there's times where you're running and you just fall over dead from one hit marker, from what you see as one hit marker, from a guy with an MP40, which shouldn't be able to one-shot you at all.
From
at all, period. Even in the head, So that's something that people are hoping they'll address, but unfortunately DICE or EA haven't mentioned anything about it, sadly.
Speaking of EA, kind of segue into the next topic.
Yeah.
Some BioWare and EA, they have announced their demo to be released February 1st. January 25th through 27th, if you are EA or Origin Access account holder, you get the VIP treatment from January 25th to 27th, and full access to the demo on the February 1st, as said.
This is the demo for Anthem, right?
Yes, Anthem. I don't know if you haven't heard this game. I don't know where you've been.
I don't know where you've been.
Big E3. It's allegedly the Destiny killer.
Yeah, it looks like the Destiny killer. It really does. I was pumped from the start on this one.
There's been allegedly a lot of Destiny killers though that's come out, and I don't know. I jumped off the Destiny bandwagon when D2 came out, and it's still going strong from what a lot of people was telling me.
Yeah, I mean, I still pick it up occasionally and just run into the Crucible just for shits and gigs.
I was considering re-downloading my old Destiny as a friend of mine did recently, just to see what was on there. It's been so long since I've been on there.
I don't think I could do it.
But we get a little bit of news from Michael Gamble himself, the lead producer for Anthem from BioWare. Direct quote from him is from his Twitter when asked from fans, what will be in the demo: a good cross section of stuff. Missions, a stronghold, some Tarsus, some free play, and start at level 10. Nothing will be imported into the full game, sadly, but I mean, do you really need a head start on the full game?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting choice, but a good one because it'll let you taste what the game's supposed to feel like once you're into it more.
And plus, with the demo, I'm sure it allows them, I guess this is kind of their beta test in a way.
Yeah.
So that they can fix any late bugs or anything that pops up. Because I hadn't heard anything about the beta test for this game. Have you?
No, nothing at all. This is the first I've heard about anybody being able to get their hands on it.
The full game will be released February 22nd on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
I think the beta may have been closed to selective streamers or something like that because there's not a lot of footage of it either. And usually, if they do a beta, a lot of people get to capture.
Oh yes, a lot of people. But I'm actually, this is a game that we've actually talked about investing some time in.
Oh, yes.
It looks very interesting.
I was excited for it from the day they announced it because it looked like better Destiny.
If it's possible. We'll let you know as soon as we get our hands on it.
Heck yeah.
Any fans of Zombieland out there?
I hope so. It's a great film.
It is a great film. You'll be happy to hear that it does have an October 11th, 2019 release date. Zombieland 2, that is.
Ooh.
Returning, though, according to GWW,
which is shocking to me,
Bill Murray will be reprising his role as his fictional self and bringing along a Ghostbuster alumni, Dan Aykroyd. It's unclear what the roles are going to be.
They're casted themselves on IMDb, so I can only imagine.
As fictional characters. I myself am a big fan of Zombieland 2, or Zombieland, and I'm very happy to hear these claims about Dan Aykroyd joining the cast and
Bill Murray.
Back again. All cast members are returning.
Yep.
The original director is returning.
Oh, good.
And a couple new characters. The synopsis that we read a bit ago said it takes place after the events of Zombieland. Evolved zombies.
Yep. Evolved zombies, more survivors, and the struggles of a makeshift family, I think is what it was.
Which they are a very makeshift family.
Very makeshift. Oh, gotta love it.
It's a great movie overall.
Let's see. My next bit of news is kind of an update, more or less.
Okay.
So I jumped back into Sea of Thieves recently.
Yes, you were telling me about this.
And Sea of Thieves has changed a lot. And I don't know, I'm maybe behind the curve on this as news, but it got a lot of flack when it first came out, and I kind of stopped paying attention to it. So I imagine a lot of people
on its initial release.
Yeah. When it came out with the Games Pass and they were pushing it, it felt like an incomplete game.
A lot of games these days feel like that. Sad.
A lot of games, yeah. So they've added a lot. They added a free expansion called Forsaken Shores. They've added more monsters to kill. Like the Kraken was in the original, but they've added the Megalodon. And the Megalodon is a lot easier to find and fight now. It's a random encounter. You don't have to carry the song all the way across the map anymore. That's what you used to have to do.
Oh my!
You used to have a character play like an accordion or a harp. What is it? The hurdy-gurdy. From Sharktooth Key, I think, all the way to one of the DLC lands in the Forgotten Shores, and it's like a 30-minute in-game ride because there's no fast travel or anything.
Oh my!
Yeah. So they've added ghost ships, which I ran into one of those the other day in a sloop with just myself and somebody else playing, and we died terribly to it. And I ran into one with a brigantine with me and two other crewmates, and we were able to take it down. So it was an interesting PvE moment for sure.
Is this the ghost ship? Is they anything like the Lord of the Rings ghost ships?
No, sadly.
Okay.
It was pretty cool though. The one after it destroyed us the first time, it just kind of did a perfect 90-degree flip into the water and sank down and just disappeared. It's kind of creepy. Cool. I liked it.
Cool though.
And there's just a lot more to it now. I would say you definitely still have to have a crew, multiple people that you can communicate with to make it worth it. Even piloting a sloop anymore is hard for me. But once I had 2 or 3 people helping me out, We had a good time.
Now this is 2 or 3 other in-game people, right?
Yeah,
Like
real peeps. I had
I haven't
some
invested
of my
any time in this game, so I have no knowledge of it.
I had some of my Xbox buds with me.
There you go.
And 4 is the maximum crew size. So if you can get 4, that'd be the way to go, I think.
Now I feel like you need more people to run a ship in real life, though.
Oh, by far. Well, so you can sail on a galleon by yourself, and a galleon's the largest ship in the game, and it is hard.
Yeah.
It is, I would say, not impossible, because you could do it, but you have 3 sets of sails that you have to change the angle of and the length.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an anchor and a helm, and you have to be able to patch holes in the ship and do all the stuff that you need to do. One person on a galleon is hard mode, insane mode even.
Really?
For sure.
Might have to do something like that in the future.
Hey, if you wanted to get it, I'll play with you.
We got Game Pass, so there we go.
There we go.
Future.
Let's see. Next up.
Something to look forward to this January is season 2 of The Punisher. I don't know if many people have been keeping up with the Netflix Marvel series. You're in for a thrill ride. The Punisher season 1. I recommend you watching that as soon as possible.
I've only seen bits and pieces, but it's enough to make me want to go back and watch it. And I don't watch anything on Netflix.
When the first Punisher season 1 came out, I actually went back and watched season 2 of Daredevil just to prepare me for it.
Nice.
The official release has not been announced yet. They just keep loosely advertising sometime in January. We're expecting a full release date here in the coming weeks. Steve Lightfoot, the lead showrunner, said that Frank Castle will start to embrace that Punisher side of him, the vigilante. I can only imagine the action and violence we'll see.
Oh man, the few things I have seen in the first one were breathtakingly.
He's brutal.
Yeah.
He's brutal.
Oof.
The first actually episode with him, it's pretty brutal. He's on a construction site for anyone that hasn't seen it. There's a sledgehammer involved.
Oof.
Yeah.
Rough.
But yeah, that would be coming out sometime this month. I'm interested to see in how this show will play out with the recent cancellations of the other Marvel Netflix shows, such as Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil recently.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica Jones is the only one that has not been spoken of yet. Derek season 2, Punisher's coming out now. Hoping maybe get some cameos. Maybe get some explanations. A lot has happened in the Marvel Universe, so a lot of speculations that maybe the cancellation was the snap.
Yeah.
They've
been erased.
There's a big theory there, but if that's so, maybe we'll see a revival at some point, depending on events in future movies.
That would be nice. And then the last bit on the news for us today is Once Upon a Deadpool will be hitting shelves and digital on January 15th, only about a month after its theatrical run.
Makes me wonder if they could have maybe gave it that straight to VHS feel.
Yeah, just make it a Netflix special.
No, I would have liked to have had an actual hard VHS copy of Once Upon a Deadpool.
That's a very Deadpool thing, too.
That would be a very Deadpool thing. Or at least make the case a VHS case.
Yeah, there you go. And put your DVD inside.
I don't know how many of y'all out there watching this have VHS, but I know I do. And still brings enjoyment. My niece and nephew, even sometimes, they want to watch TV out in the garage because of the VHS and TV setup out there.
Yeah, we've got. I don't have one here, sadly, but my parents still have one. So every time I go down there, I'm raiding the old VHSs.
There you go. And I can't believe how big my VHS collection was, actually.
Dude, I had bookshelves worth at home.
Disney out the ass.
I think my mom had every Disney movie on VHS at one point. She made it her goal to collect them. She even had all the live action ones.
I have a lot of them. Actually found I have a lot of, thanks to my dad, is VHS recordings
from the TV.
Yes. Yeah. Got a lot of HBO back in the 90s.
Got a lot of those.
blank tapes.
Yeah, I got the original like 1960 Adam West Batman, the movie that I think it was my aunt ripped off TV for me when I was a kid.
I know for a fact I have Pulp Fiction and Independence Day on recorded VHS.
Did yours fast forward through the commercials for you? Or did you have to do that part?
Luckily, most of them was done on HBO.
Oh, no commercials.
So there's no commercials.
Yeah.
There's no commercials.
My family was nice enough to fast forward the commercials when they were bootlegging them for me.
There you go. That's awfully kind of.
It is. It is.
Not to segue too hard, but we do have.
Speaking of movies, that's a segue.
We have a movie review, a lone movie review. So I'll let Luke here.
And it's a Disney movie. Double segue. So I recently went to go see Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins Returns is a sequel to Mary Poppins. Sorry, something strange just happened in my house. Sequel to Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, the first one came out in 1964 with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke as the leads.
Gosh, that is forever ago.
Forever ago, and it's a classic. It's very good. If you've not seen the original Mary Poppins,
Who hasn't?
If you haven't, you are either not from this country or you've lived under a rock. Those are the two options. It's a great movie. It makes you feel like a kid at points, and this one really does the same thing. It's actually kind of a theme in this one, is to feel like a kid again. But I'm a huge Mary Poppins fan, personally. I try to watch it every year. I really do.
Really? Didn't know about you.
I've seen it at least 20 times. Being 25, I started when I was 5. That's once a year.
Yeah, not bad.
So I started in kind of skeptical because I was worried that they were just going to ruin one of my favorite Disney movies.
Classic.
Yeah, right? And it almost felt like there didn't need to be a sequel. But I wrote here, the first magic sequence, if you want to call it that, was very unnerving for me.
Really?
It was. So if you've seen the original Mary Poppins, you know that there's some great integrated live action and animation bits. Well, the first magic sequence, that's what I'm going to choose to call it, in this one was CGI, green screen, very obviously, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it at all, actually. It didn't immerse me in the film. And in the original one with the penguins, when they're going through the carousel ride and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and all that, you feel like they're there.
Yeah, even though you can clearly tell it's a cartoon.
It's animated, but they interact, kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They interact with them, and it feels real. The CGI in the first one, and I'm going to try to keep spoiler free, in the first little sequence there didn't immerse me. It felt like there were 3 kids in front of a green screen, like trying to swim, and it didn't do it for me. So I was already on a bad foot. However, once they brought in the real hand-drawn animation, like they did in the original, and Mary hopped in, this time it's a porcelain bowl instead of a chalk drawing.
Okay.
When Mary and the crew hopped into the porcelain bowl, I was sold. It was fucking magical. So good.
Kind of won you back right
there.
It
did. That whole sequence won me back by itself because it felt like the old one. The characters, it had the penguins in it again.
Nice.
It was drawn like the old ones. I'm curious to know if they use digital format, if they actually hand drew it. I assume they use digital because
why not?
It's 2018, right? But 19. Well, it was made in 2018. I'm still writing the wrong date. As a side note, I'm still writing the wrong date on everything. It's bad. It's real bad.
That happens for a while.
I'll figure it out about June. But they do a lot more interesting things with the costumes in this movie too.
Okay.
The costumes are a lot more colorful. They were in the last one, but the colors were very.
It probably wasn't as vibrant.
It wasn't as vibrant, but they were very gender specific in the old one. So when they went into Animation Land, Michael and Bert, the little boy, and Dick Van Dyke wore blue, and the girls wore yellow and pink.
Okay.
So, and in this one, they all wear different vibrant colors, and Mary and Jack, who is Lin-Manuel Miranda's character, wear purple, like a purple violet, pink kind of. It was a lot of colors. It was very cool. They actually changed Mary's hair a couple times in this too, which I kind of liked.
Really?
Yeah.
You were Rule 34 about Mary Poppins.
I've never looked it up, but now I'm curious. So it follows a very similar story vein to the original. It follows the Banks family. It's the Jane and Michael now that they've grown older, and then they're his kids.
Calling in Mary Poppins for support.
Mary Poppins shows up for support. She knows. She knows when bad things happen. The songs feel less memorable to me, but I've only seen it once, and I've seen the other 20 plus times, so it's hard to say that they won't be as memorable. But after one go through, I can still almost sing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I couldn't say that.
But I cannot sing, what is it, Live a Little Light Fantastic, which I think is the central showpiece from this one. And you get Learys, which are lamplighters, instead of chimney sweeps in this one.
Okay.
And no spoilers, but somebody told me that they used BMX very well in this movie. And when they said that, I thought they misspoke because BMX in a Mary Poppins movie? But they do. There's BMX in it, and it's pretty good. Yeah. Shocked the hell out of me. Shocked the hell out of me. I want to know if Lin-Manuel did his own dancing. I assume he did because he's a theater kid.
Yeah.
But he's no Dick Van Dyke, but he did a damn fine job.
No one has sweet feet like.
Oh no,
Dick Van Dyke.
No, hard to beat. So all those classic guys, the tap dancing and all that, hard to beat.
Oh yes.
And the last thing I really have written here is the Colin Firth is in the movie, and the second he walks on stage, you go, he's going to be the bad guy, and he was.
Imagine that.
He looks like a bad guy the second he walks in, so it's easy to spot.
There are certain characters that
you just know, right?
It's that typecasting, you know.
I mean, Colin Firth's a good hero too, but he's a great villain.
Kind of like Mark Wahlberg. You need someone to play a Boston boy? Mark Wahlberg's your guy. If he needs to be from Boston or look confused, Mark Wahlberg's got that shit covered. Yeah, he does.
But that's about all I've got for Mary Poppins. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the old one, you might go in. You might feel that rickety feeling in the first 20 minutes, but give it time. The movie will win you over.
All right, let me get out of 10 stars.
Ooh, 10. Okay. Let's see. I wasn't ready for this.
Put you on the spot.
Let's see. The cast alone is going to put me at 7 stars. I think Emily Blunt did a fantastic job.
I forgot it was Emily Blunt that did that.
I think she embodied Mary well. She's no Julie Andrews, but who is Julie Andrews? It's hard to compete with Julie Andrews.
That it is.
I mean,
she actually, her and Dick Van Dyke both opted to not go to the red carpet premiere just so they wouldn't steal away thunder from the
good cast. Good call.
Very good cast.
Very good call. Oh yeah. I'm going to give it 7.5 stars.
7.5 stars?
Yeah, that's a 7.5 on IMDb if you want to count it like that. That's pretty good.
That's probably what you count it. It's a lot of stars. Actually, you can do 10.
I'm curious what it has on IMDb now.
Let's go ahead and check that out. And while you're doing that, I see we have some live chat here. Hi, Lindsay. Yes, we have some Christmas lights.
We haven't got rid of those yet. We're thinking about keeping them around, actually.
We are. We like the lighting. Don't have to have our overhead light. Kind of sets the mood. And TJ. Eagles may not be going anywhere, but neither are the Bengals.
Ha ha! Take that.
Sorry, had to.
Oh, it has a 7.3.
7.3. There you go.
So the internet agrees with me.
I didn't spot you a 0.2 there.
Yeah, I was close. What's a decimal nowadays?
So did you see this movie in 2019?
Yes, I went and saw it on the 1st.
Segue. 2019 movies coming up.
That wasn't obvious at all, was it?
Not at all.
2019 movies coming up. So Dominic had picked his top 5 most anticipated movies, and I had some news about some movies, but they're what caught my fancy. So I guess I'm anticipating them, aren't I?
There is a lot of movies coming out in 2019, so I hope your wallets are ready.
Yes, wallets are ready for both the in-theater showing and the DVDs, because all these are ones you're going to want to own.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you want to work on that Disney collection, because guess what? They're all coming back.
A lot of these movies that are coming back this year actually are Disney. So Disney is expected to have a very good year in the box office for obvious reasons. So let's go ahead and top off our list. we're gonna start out with my number 5. Your number 5. The Lion King is my number 5 and most anticipated movie for me. Remember, these are in our opinion. So if you disagree with us or have a different opinion, let us know in the live chat.
Yeah.
Lion King, we've all seen the trailer. From what we've seen so far, it is going to beautifully redo. Hopefully, I honestly would not be mad if it was a pure remake, scene for scene.
That's what it looks like, and I'm not at all upset about that.
No.
I'm really not. I think even from the trailer, Mufasa's little speech about the sun rises on a king and all that, I think that is literally the same words from the original line.
Because, I mean, James Earl Jones did return to voice Mufasa.
Which is exciting.
Yes. A lot of the old voice actors for Scar, I believe, returned.
Oh, that was Jeremy Irons, right?
Yes. I don't know if Timon and Pumbaa did. I know we have Childish Gambino as Simba.
Don't you mean Donald Glover?
A.K.A. Donald Glover. Depends on how you know him by.
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen. Yes, Seth Rogen is playing Pumbaa. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, Seth Rogen's in the movie.
No, we don't have Jeremy Irons back as Scar. It's is that the guy who plays Black Panther?
No, that's Chadwick Boseman. That is Chitwell. Oh, he
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave. He was also Dormammu. No, Mondu. Doctor Strange, right? Mondu.
Good question. No.
I could have swore he was in Doctor Strange.
When did
yes, he's right there.
When did
Mordo.
Close enough. Mondu, Mordo. What's the difference?
There's probably a character in the Strange comics who's named Mondu.
I
guarantee you there actually is.
Beyonce is Nala. That's interesting.
Yes.
I need to look at the cast of
There
these
is
things.
a lot of interesting casts for this. This is a Jon Favreau directed film.
Yeah. Very excited for everything he's doing this year.
He also did Jungle Book.
He did.
The live action remake, which he did a great job. Bill Murray was in that as well.
Yeah.
I love Bill Murray today.
Gotta love Bill. We got Eric Andre. Yes, he is Azizi? Was that what that was? Azuzu? That's a car.
Zazu.
Well, Zazu's the bird. That's John Oliver.
Okay.
Eric
John
Andre.
Oliver's doing Zazu?
Zazu, yeah. Couldn't get Gilbert Gottfried, I guess, because he said the bad things.
Yeah. John Oliver, though, I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, and Eric Andre is Azizi.
That is...
Is that one of the hyenas? No.
I think...
Was that one of the hyenas?
Click on it.
Maybe. It's not a hyperlink.
Oh, man.
I know, right?
Yeah, but James Earl Jones turning as Mufasa. What's more not to love?
What's more not to love?
TJ. Yes, he is one of the hyenas.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you know your Lion King chat. We need you to make us more competent.
That's what you're here for.
Tell your friends, please. My number 5, which isn't necessarily, I don't think I was looking forward to this movie as my number 5 until I started doing some research on it. So I was just going to talk about it, but now I'm kind of excited to see it. And it's Glass, the M. Night Shyamalan film.
This was very, very close to getting put on my list.
It's coming out January 18th, so that's very soon. We might talk about doing some review about this
at some point. We'll have to get our scheduling.
Yeah, it's M. Night Shyamalan, written and directed, and it stars James McAvoy as his character from Split, and Bruce Willis as his character from Unbreakable.
Which, if you haven't seen Unbreakable, it's a superhero movie.
It is. No. Okay, so check this out. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts the other day, and they were saying that if Unbreakable had come out 3 years later, it would have been caught in the superhero hype just like Iron Man. Because
I could believe that, yes.
It was in 2000, so it was just on the cusp of the superhero
Because the first one came out in 2001 with X-Men?
I think so. But they were saying if it could come out just a little bit later, it could have been caught in that, kind of like Hancock almost.
Yes.
Because that's a superhero film.
Which, side note, Hancock's not that bad of a movie.
No,
it's pretty good.
Every movie has flaws, but no, it's good in its own right. And Will Smith is always good, in my opinion.
And one of my favorite things about Glass, Samuel L. Jackson as the villain. I love Samuel L. Jackson as the villain.
So the plot that I saw on IMDb is Bruce Willis's character has to hunt down James McAvoy's character because he's dangerous, which I've not seen Split or Unbreakable. So this gives me reason to go see both.
I have seen both. They are both really good movies.
I kind of like them,
especially with M. Night Shyamalan's recent handlings of some movies.
Yeah.
Not to mention
We won't talk about The Last Airbender. We just won't.
You just mention it by name.
Yeah, well.
It is the movie that shall not be named.
Legalize Ranch? Is that a thing that I don't know about?
Legalize the Ranch? Is that how that's supposed to be pronounced?
I don't.
That's how that's supposed to be pronounced right there.
I'm going for it. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's really all I have for Glass. But it looks intriguing. The trailers intrigued me. I know Split was critically acclaimed.
I highly recommend you watch both.
I'm gonna have to watch both before we go see it. Maybe we should watch both because how long has it been since you saw Unbreakable?
Oh God.
Exactly.
Way too long. Way too long.
Oh, Eric Andre show. Yeah, we should rewatch Unbreakable. I'll watch Split for the first time, and then we'll go see Glass.
That sounds like a plan to me.
I like it.
Number 4 for me. We mentioned this earlier. Zombieland 2.
Something to look forward to for sure. I'm surprised. I wish I had it in my list now.
You can still put it in there. Honorable mention or something.
Yeah, right.
Zombieland 2, for the reasons we previously mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing that cast back together. Honestly, one of my favorite Woody Harrelson movies.
Oh yeah.
I just love his character in there, that Yosemite Sam feel to him. Jesse Eisenberg's character is great, and then of course you have Emma Stone that falls in love with the nerdy guy that should never have a chance. That's how movies are written.
I mean, it is a zombie apocalypse. He's like the only guy around.
I wonder if the new survivors will interest there's got to be a nerd guy out there, right?
Oh, I'd hope so.
Probably one with the 6-pack.
I was recently watching Shaun of the Dead, and in Shaun of the Dead, like there's that opposite group that mirrors theirs kind of deal. It'd be funny if in Zombieland 2 they did something like that, where they have Minnesota or whatever, Jesse Eisenberg.
Since they'll have
Little Rock
names.
Yeah, they'll be like different places, but they'll mirror the characters. I think that would be fun. Might not be practical, but I think it'd be fun.
Like Jesse Eisenberg's Tallahassee, someone would be Gainesville.
Is that a Florida place?
That is a Florida place. It's where the Florida Gators play.
Oh,
since Tallahassee's FSU.
There you go. Okay, good.
Sports fans will catch that.
No, I mean you should be writing for Zombieland 2 at this point.
Oh man, I wish. I'm sure I could tweet him some stuff and maybe get an honorable mention.
Hey man,
it's not too late to. No, it has October 11th release.
It's in post-production. So. You can still squeak in there.
Oh yeah. We'll have to send some now. We'll do that with official Blue Ridge Nerd Network Twitter.
Ooh, the Blue Ridge Hold on, let me try that again. The Blue Ridge Nerd Network will be on Zombieland 2. I don't think we can make that claim.
We'd have to pay them to let us be in it.
We'd have to pay a lot of people for us to be in it, I think. Some palms would be greased.
Oh, yeah. Probably some other things, but it's Hollywood. You're number 4.
My number 4 is another Disney film, Toy Story 4.
I had this on my list, and then I got thinking about more of the movies. I was like, I'm kind of worried about Toy Story 4.
That's what intrigues me, because I thought 3 wrapped it up nicely. I thought they were done. I thought they were done. It ended. My childhood was over. I can now pay bills and die an old man. But now there's another one, so I get something else to look forward to, I guess.
Nah.
So the thing that has me curious is Josh Cooley is directing this, and Josh Cooley is known for some voice work in Ratatouille and Inside Out.
Now, this is his first stint at directing, correct?
Correct. First stint at directing. He directed a couple shorts. I think he did a short for Inside Out and a few other things. But this is his first, Toy Story.
Major motion picture. That's
Toy Story 4.
That's a big franchise to be given the handle of.
Yeah, that's a big name.
You
can't mess it up. And
this is make or break time.
For real. And if he does well, I'm sure his career, kind of like Jon Favreau with Iron Man 1, his career will be forever changed.
Yes.
And if it bombs, we'll probably never hear from him again. But something I thought was interesting on IMDb, and granted this might not hold any merit, but on IMDb, Jordan Peele and Patricia Arquette are cast higher than Tim Allen and Tom Hanks.
But I would assume that they are being paid more?
Paid more, or they have more lines, or...
So I do believe Jordan Peele is the character we seen in the that new kind of trailer thing where he's a new toy.
He's a bunny, apparently.
He's a bunny. Yes, that's correct. He's a bunny.
He's a bunny.
So I believe he's going to be one of the new characters.
Mhm.
My only concern is that with them introducing new characters in this movie, I really don't want to see Toy Story spinoffs.
You know, I'm afraid that's kind of been in the back of my head. I'm afraid that's where it's going. It's going to be Toy Story 4, but this time it's going to be about, I don't know, Bunny and Tree instead of Woody and Buzz,
No.
and they're going to become the main characters, and then their owner's going to give them away, and then the next character is going to show up, and it's going to be, soon there's going to be a fidget spinner in them, for crying out loud.
It's a Star Wars all over again.
And I swear to God, if any of them Fortnite dance, I'm walking out.
Oh gosh. Oh, Fortnite. Fortnite.
Don't get me started. I mean, it's not a bad game, but
It's not.
don't get me started.
Just haven't invested any time in it, sadly. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's all I got for
What do you have for number 3?
number 3. Another Disney movie,
Really? Which one?
Dumbo.
Dumbo. Really?
This one's on the list too, just because it piques my interest.
See, I'll be honest. I really wasn't that big of a fan of the original Dumbo.
Dude, that movie is an acid trip. Like, there is so much
Never
weird.
done acid zone.
Neither have I. But that the when he's freaking out in the big tent and the colors and the kaleidoscope elephants are going through, like, that's a children's movie. That's weirder than Willy Wonka.
Alice in Wonderland was that.
Wonderland,
was a children's movie, and that was an acid trip.
literally.
Yes.
So she eats mushrooms in that movie. For
She
crying out loud.
does.
Yeah, so I'm excited to. It looks like they're throwing some of that in because there's a big sequence in this one where in the trailer they show the bubbles and they do the big purple elephant kind of moving, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But Tim Burton is directing it, and that is what piqued my interest in
Tim Burton had a lull in his career there for a while, but he is back on top. I feel like,
and he's not a bad. I mean, he's got a very specific style.
he does.
But he's not a bad director.
I am happy to see this Dumbo is not. What is the word? Screen cap? No.
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Oh man, I don't know if we can say that on stream.
I don't know that we can, but TJ, if you're right, I'll buy you a sandwich.
He likes Baconator.
Baconator it is. A number 4 with cheese.
There you go.
Baconator is the number 4 or something.
Does it
Isn't it?
not have cheese on it already?
Oh, it has cheese.
I was going to say.
I just said with cheese.
It didn't have cheese.
I don't know. What's the point of a Baconator without cheese?
Yeah.
Anyway, Dumbo. This movie doesn't look like it has a. You were saying something before I got distracted.
Stop motion. His style of.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, stop.
I'm so happy.
It's
not stop
strange.
motion.
It's very bright and colorful, and it's
Kind
got
of opposite of. Tim
yeah,
Burton.
it's very outside his wheelhouse. But it looks like instead of being talking animals, I see no talking animals in the trailer.
Which that was kind of what the original animated movie was all
Yeah.
about.
I mean, you have the crows, which are not at all appropriate in today's era, and
No.
the mouse, who is the one who gets Dumbo in and out of every situation he gets into, basically. But now it looks like there are going to be 2 kids that are Dumbo's friends, and Colin Farrell is Dumbo's owner, Dumbo's kid's parent, so his owner by proxy, I guess.
Okay.
And he is supposed to, I don't know, it looks like the humans are the heroes this time instead of it being about a flying elephant. But it's not animated, so what do we expect? It's also not 1941, so we can't get away with half of what that movie got away with.
Got away with a lot.
It did. Those, if you go back and watch it now, the crows are.
I like to see what today's ratings people would give that movie.
Oh, like the movie rating, like R or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was G back in the day.
That's definitely not G.
No, I mean the acid trip, purple transmuting elephants alone is enough to make it not G.
And might have to review on that.
I'm gonna go see it. March 29th is the release date. I'm gonna go see it just because, I mean, nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
I'll go see Toy Story 4 too and probably cry in the theaters like a grown ass man. What do you want?
It's kind of what these nostalgia movies do to us.
Pretty much.
My number 3, Detective Pikachu.
Big pick.
That is a big pick. I wanted to put it higher. The next 2 movies are higher for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
What does it say about this movie? If you haven't seen the trailer for this movie, then
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Is there only one trailer right now?
There's currently only one trailer.
Okay.
It's a masterpiece of a trailer though. It shows so many things in the Pokemon world.
Mm-hmm.
Finally get that live action adaptation.
And if you know your Mons, you know what generations are in it.
Exactly.
Looks like it's through Gen 8, right? Or 7?
The current Gen 7, because there's no official Gen 8 just yet.
True.
So, but yes, all the way through. Well, I've seen Gen 6 in there with Greninja. A lot of the Pokemon in the movie actually have puppeteers and actual props.
Wow.
It's not all CGI.
I did not know that. That makes me want to see it even more.
Yes. Going to be a great movie. Deadpool as Pikachu.
You know, the first time I saw the trailer, I was just like, he just sounds like Deadpool. But
find out, yeah, he does sound like Deadpool.
Well, I mean, it is Ryan Reynolds, but I thought his cadence was just kind of Deadpool-y.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've watched it, I don't know, 10 or 12 times.
I've watched the trailer quite a bit myself.
It's different. It's not just Deadpool. He's brought something special to the character of Detective Pikachu, and I think I'm looking forward to that.
Which Ryan Reynolds has done that with every character of his. Even Green Lantern, he brought his own.
Yeah, and he has his own kind of style.
He does.
Deep sarcasm at the back of his voice, but man, it's great.
Sarcasm and sassy. That's Ryan Reynolds.
That is. And even his Twitter.
Yes.
Even his Twitter.
I'm pretty sure most of the campaigning for Once Upon Deadpool was actually part of his idea.
Oh, I don't doubt it. He probably just did it all himself for shits and giggles.
Probably. But yeah, Detective Pikachu. Pull the release date for us real quick.
Yeah, man.
Forgot to write that down.
2019.
It was 2019 anticipated movie.
10 May, so I'm going on my birthday. My birthday's May 21st. Buy me something. So don't buy me anything, please. I'll never know what to get you back.
Buy me a movie ticket.
Buy me a movie ticket to Pokemon. Pikachu Go. Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
There you go.
I messed that up real bad. But yeah, no, it looks really good.
Such a great job. Okay, let's move down to our number 2.
Uh-oh.
There's that.
I clicked on the guy who's directing it.
Mm-hmm.
He did Shark Tale. That's pretty good.
A good movie.
Monsters vs. Aliens and Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black. We won't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Ryan Reynolds directed.
Ryan Reynolds has enough power to save anything, I think.
Oh, yes. But number 2, we might have the same things.
This is my number 1.
This is your, okay. Spoilers. Star Wars Episode 9.
Star Wars Episode 9. I'll go ahead and just throw my facts out there too, and we'll backtrack to my number 2.
So depending on your age range, you might feel differently about the Star Wars canon in the universe as of right now.
Controversial topic, to say the least.
Very controversial. I like The Last Jedi. I did think it took a risk that George Lucas was afraid to take the risk of with Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, Jar Jar should have been a Sith Lord. Damn it.
That's an entire other topic for a different video.
Coming in 2019.
2019. But he took a risk. Backlash from fans, yes, but he took a risk and stuck with it.
And while I might not be the biggest The Last Jedi supporter, I will say that cinematically it's one of the most visually pleasing Star Wars movies of all time.
My first time I watched it, I enjoyed the movie. It's a good movie. But you sit down, think about it. As a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
there's no one more critical of a franchise than a Star Wars fan. We and everyone has proven over the years, from the original trilogy, the prequels, to the second sequels, or whatever you want to call this.
What do they call those?
The New Age Star Wars.
The original trilogy, the prequels, and the sequel. I think they're just called the sequels.
Sequels.
Yeah.
Works for me.
And then Rogue One and Solo are anthology films.
Yes. Yeah. What did you have for number 2?
So, well, my number 2 is It, Chapter 2. I'm a big Stephen King fan.
Are you?
Huge Stephen King fan. I've never read the book It, but I've read many of his others. I saw the first It. Well, I've seen the 1990 miniseries. I've seen the 1990 miniseries probably 6 or 7 times.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen any of the It's. A bit of a scaredy cat. I'm not a fan of the scary movies.
I'm not a fan of scary movies either. But I went to go see this the 17, 18 It in theaters, and I jumped like a little girl a few times, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
His character is definitely
I think Bill Skarsgård does a great job.
Yes.
He brought the creepy factor up to 11.
Now the whole eye thing he does, that's him himself.
Really?
Yes.
Oof. That's impressive.
There's no CGI, no trickery.
That's impressive.
That was him with his eyes doing that.
That is impressive.
Such a good movie that it inspired LeBron James to go as Halloween that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet that was freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
7 foot tall Pennywise.
6'8", 280 pounds Pennywise. Yeah. No.
Not only will he scare the crap out of you, he will also bench press you while he does it.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
So it's got the same director, Andy Muschietti.
Mm-hmm. Now this is a continuation, right? It's to take place how many years after the original?
30, I do believe.
30.
So the miniseries in 1990, it was a 2-episode, and it did both in the same kind of deal. And you had the kid story and then the adult story. So we had the kid story with the first movie, and this is going to be the adult side of it. We still have all the same child actors because I'm assuming there's going to be flashbacks.
Yes.
But this one is supposed to be the losers club after they grow up and move away from Derry, and they all have to come back because it comes back.
Oh.
Spoopy. We've got Bill Hader cast as Richie, which is the comedian in the group.
Okay. You've
got James McAvoy as Bill, which is like the leader.
Okay. He's a good leader type.
He is. And Jessica Chastain, I think is how you say that, as Bev, which fits perfectly. Mm-hmm. The rest of them, I don't really recognize names. I kind of ran out of paper room. So those are the 3 biggest names on there. Bill Hader. Anything Bill Hader touches, I'm a big fan of. I love Bill Hader. I own documentary now on Blu-ray just because I like Bill Hader that much.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that. It's like a mock documentary show.
I have not. Bill
Hader and Fred Armisen put it together. It's a good show. You check it out. That's a total side note, but check it out. So It Chapter 2, it seems like I've never read the book, but they stayed well with the 1990 miniseries, and they really upped the douchebag factor on Bev's dad, which I know Bev's dad in the book is not at all a decent human being, and they made him not so decent in this one.
I haven't seen the movie or read the books, but I've heard from a lot of people that there's a lot of good things that they put in the book, but there's a lot of things for obvious reasons that they didn't put in the book.
Bev's dad stuff is part of that.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, Stephen King's written some fucked up stuff.
I mean, Stephen King, how many horror stories has he written?
30 plus at least.
Yeah, you gotta kind of have a twisted mind for that.
You do. But that's about all I have for it. I'm excited to see it. I'll probably go see it in theaters and scream and cry, and it'll be okay.
So that brings us down to our number 1 picks.
So I'll go ahead and hop on mine since we know it's Star Wars.
Star Wars.
December 20th release date. It's going to be my Christmas Day plans. If anybody wants to do something else, I'm sorry. I'm at Star Wars. I'm probably going to see it. I'm only going to see it once.
Depending on...
I'm only going to see it once because I'll be forward. I've only seen The Last Jedi once.
I've seen it. I've seen it once in theaters, and then I've watched it twice since this DVD release.
I've seen a lot about it, and I've watched a lot of clips from it from the internet because it's been a topic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes,
and
it's been a topic ever since it's announced. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Episode 9 was probably the most speculated out of all of them when 7 was announced. Honestly.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got to think about how
it's going to fit together as the trilogy.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't rewatched The Last Jedi. I've only seen The Force Awakens twice completely. So truly, I'm just waiting for 9, and then I can really respect all 3 as a trilogy, which is what you're going to have to do anyway. Because Empire Strikes Back wasn't a great film when it was released. Attack of the Clones is the weakest of the prequels, but that's because the middle film always sets up the resolution.
Yeah, it does.
And this one just didn't feel. I mean, no, we're not talking about The Last Jedi.
You've done enough with when I mentioned it.
Yeah. But same cast. All the stars are returning. Lupita Nyong'o, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill are both going to be in it. I assume.
Speaking of Carrie Fisher, I believe it was her brother that had mentioned recently that they had enough film of her from episode 8 that it's quite easy to actually put her in episode 9.
I wouldn't doubt that, and I figure that's why they didn't take the easy way and kill her in episode 8.
Let's not talk about it. We can't do it.
No, separate video. One thing that I'm real excited about is on IMDb, Billy D. Williams is back as Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
And I want that so bad.
Who doesn't love Billy D. Williams?
Billy D. Oh man, he
officially sponsored by Colt 45, by the way. Just let you know if you didn't know that.
You know what? One of the biggest regrets that I've ever just been able to see in my life is that Billy D. Williams didn't get to be Harvey Dent in the original Batman. Or he was Harvey Dent, but he didn't get to realize
we had this conversation.
The Harvey Dent.
Yes.
Oh man, that would have been so badass.
Been very
just imagine 90s coked up Billy D. Williams being Two-Face.
I don't know if you consider that method acting.
It would be a method though, wouldn't it?
Oh.
But it's episode 9. It's going to be big. It's going to make or break Star Wars.
It really will.
But
honestly, it's probably the fate of the Star Wars future probably rests on this movie.
Truly. I mean, as far as movies go, so a little bit of a side note about The Mandalorian. I recently heard that Jon Favreau's announced that IG-88 is going to be in it, which is he's one of the bounty hunters. He's the robot.
He was in episode 5, right? He was shown on scene.
Yes, 4 or 5. I think it was 5 because the bounty hunters show up there.
I think it was 5.
Yeah.
I know he also makes a cameo in Attack of the Clones animated series.
Yes. IG-88 is one of the cooler. I mean, all the bounty hunters are cool, but IG-88's kind of terrifying because he can just upload himself into other bodies and he'll find you. But yeah,
he will. So that wraps up his top. My number 1.
Can anybody guess it? In the chat right now, give me a guess.
Can anyone guess? I guarantee you someone knows it.
Somebody, I mean, it's obvious. Maybe not actually, but
I feel like it would be.
It was obvious to me. I didn't even have to. I guessed it as soon as you told me he picked a top 5.
Yeah. So we're going to give it a few more seconds.
Oh, come on, chat. Don't let us down. We need you to make us smarter. Okay, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Brawley.
Bro,
good choice. You're almost
If this was a top 6, Broly would have been up there. Which we will be doing a review of that.
Yes, we plan on going to see that. That's January 19th, right?
16th. But my number 1, Avengers Endgame. For obvious reasons. I don't know if you've seen Avengers Infinity War, but oh god, my sister recently watched it. She's not into Marvel movies really, but she called me out of panic, wanted to know what happened at the end of the movie. Freaking out. She's like, so you're just telling me that he just snaps and everyone's just dust? Spoilers.
Oh, you said that in the wrong order there,
I
fam.
did, but who hasn't seen Infinity War? It's on Netflix now. I mean, you've watched most of it, and you,
I know what happens.
Thanks to social media,
Spoilers don't exist
in
to
the
me.
world. That you know exactly what happens.
I've never been told something about a movie that made me not want to go see it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's just me.
I've been. I don't know. I was told a lot of things about Fantastic Four reboot the second time around, and yeah,
I didn't care to go.
Yeah.
You didn't have to tell me anything. I didn't want to go see that to start with.
But no, Avengers Endgame. I'm looking forward to finally getting maybe a wrap up. It's been confirmed to be a 3-hour movie, so make sure you use the bathroom before you go in.
Right?
Or wear diapers, either one.
Drink your Pepto before you go in.
Yes. I don't want to talk too much more about that because honestly, besides what we've seen in the trailer, there's not too much more we know.
Did you see this thing recently where people they just Googled it so much that the Google algorithm started saying that Hugh Jackman
Yes, I did.
saying that Hugh Jackman was in Avengers Endgame, and everybody was like
freaking out. Because there's a theory actually with the 3 scars that are on Thanos' face that
Wolverine?
Maybe Wolverine from a previous encounter.
Whoa, that would be some. Sony would wait. Is it Sony? Fox. Fox would flip. Wait, Disney owns Fox.
Yes.
Oh shit. The game changes.
The game totally changes. Which I have a theory.
Do you think that's where the Dark Phoenix thing's coming from, or is that a Fox?
That's
Is that like their death row?
No, Dark Phoenix was the last of the pre-merger.
Okay, yeah.
Pre-merger.
So that is their death row.
Mm-hmm. Along with New Mutants, though, there's a lot of speculation of whether the continuation of X-Men and all that, how it will be done. Can't wait to find out after the final details of the merger is coming through in this month. We should have, by the end of the month, we should have the final details on all characters and everything that had to do with the soon-to-be extended MCU.
Oof, it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be so big. I can't wait for the next 10-year build-up.
I'm bored.
I know, right?
We're gonna be watching Marvel movies made by Disney until we're dead, aren't we?
Oh yeah, Disney. Like I said, they're gonna have a good year in 2019.
Yeah, this is a big year for them.
Let's go ahead and do this. What do you think is gonna make more money?
Ooh.
Avengers Endgame or Star Wars Episode 9?
Ooh.
Because we both know Avengers 1 broke the record. Episode 7 broke the box office record. Jurassic World broke it for
Yeah.
And then Infinity War blew it out of the water, pretty much.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Endgame is going to set the bar high,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm afraid that a lot of the backlash against Star Wars from those people boycotting bullshit is going to affect Episode 9. But they'll get my ticket sale, by God.
At least one ticket sale.
Right? I will buy a ticket.
I will buy a ticket.
That's upsetting. That if the community hadn't turned on them like they did, I would have told you Episode 9 is going to crush everything as far as financial goals.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that because people are so pissed off at Kathleen Kennedy that they're not going to go see the movie. But now that JJ's back at the helm, I think it'll bring big numbers.
Like it will have. I feel like Avengers Endgame will beat them initial weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Star Wars, after it was out for a while, and gets maybe hopefully some good reviews from fans. Hopefully. I mean, we know it'll get critic reviews because they're paid that way. So I guess it just depends on the long run. But I do believe short term weekend, first box office weekend, Avengers Endgame beats it.
The opening weekend on that's going to be huge.
All right. Well, that wraps up everything else.
That's all we've got as far as.
There's one more thing.
Junk we wanted to blab about.
Exactly. One more thing. Our weekly NFL playoff picks. Well, I say weekly, but this is the first week of the playoffs.
Yes.
Wild card round kicks off this weekend. And we have 4 games, 2 NFC, 2 AFC.
We had no differences in picks this week.
Surprisingly,
There's only 4 games, so it wasn't hard.
that's very true. Yeah, change from the original 16 that we do every week.
Yeah.
First up for Saturday's games, we have Colts at the Texans. I do believe the Texans will beat the Colts.
I think the Texans are a stronger team.
I think with that solid defense behind them and that whole field advantage, I believe they have enough to put down the surging Colts in their high-powered Andrew Luck offense. I say Andrew Luck because he's pretty much the only one on the team that's been doing anything this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then we go ahead.
We have the Seahawks at the Cowboys.
I have the Seahawks over the Cowboys.
Same for me.
I feel like they're both been battle-tested teams this year. As much as I don't want to give credit to the Cowboys, they have proven themselves in the later half of the season. But I do believe the difference maker will be the maturity at quarterback. Russell Wilson's been there. He's won a Super Bowl. He's going to be the difference maker.
Yeah.
And Dak Prescott's immaturity and poise in the pocket, I just feel like it's going to really set him back.
I believe that. Next up is Chargers at the Ravens.
Yes, Chargers at the Ravens. I have the Chargers over them.
Same as me.
I believe they're going to get some revenge from a previous loss just a few weeks ago. Unlike last time, this will be a Ravens home game instead of a Chargers road game. I like to see what happens with this very veteran core team for the Chargers against this young Ravens squad.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has really sparked a fire underneath them since Joe Flacco's injury, then later benching. So see if Lamar Jackson's youth can lead them.
We'll see what happens.
And then the last Sunday game for the week
is the where are we at? Eagles at the Bears.
Eagles at the Bears.
Eagles at the Bears.
Eagles over the Bears.
Eagles over the Bears.
Obvious fanboy pick here.
I mean,
but
I'm not even a fanboy, and I've got the Eagles over the Bears. So.
I just feel like the Eagles have been pretty hot here, beating some playoff caliber teams, and
got some chat there. What a surprise!
What a surprise, right? Stay tuned next week. I have a pick for you for your Chiefs. Bears over the Eagles. They're big playoffs caliber teams with Nick Foles. They've refound their pass rush from last year. And the only thing stopping them is the Bears.
They've got a killer defense.
Killer defense, and they're going to be in the Windy City, so you got that home field advantage. But if anyone can go in there and beat them, it's Nick Foles and the Eagles.
I believe in the Eagles.
Thank you for believing in me. I believe that wraps up this week.
Thank you for joining us in 2019.
We look forward to seeing y'all more in the future. We do have some content on the line coming up. Stay tuned for that. We're not just going to announce anything just yet.
Like we said in our previous video, we've got some irons in the fire.
That we do. Just got to get them out and smelt them.
Yeah.
Blacksmith our content.
Smith them. Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
You can follow us on Instagram at Blue Ridge Nerd Network.
On Twitter at Nerd Ridge.
And still need a Facebook.
I don't even
have Facebook.
Yeah, I guess.
Let us know in the comments below on this video. Is Facebook still relevant?
Do we need a MySpace? Is that a thing?
Oh my gosh, I kind of want to make a MySpace for us now.
I hear it's real big with music. Like a lot of kind of like SoundCloud. MySpace is similar to that.
Yeah, they got into that when it kind of is getting out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of SoundCloud rappers on there before SoundCloud was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
go figure.
So that wraps up tonight's show. Thank you for watching us. Blue Ridge Nerd Network.
Signing off.
Oh gosh. Again.
Signing off.